This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, New Zealand's first decision to form a coalition with the Labour Party pleases unions. Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt is ready to start talks with New Zealand's new Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern on key issues affecting the resort town. And the Dunedin musician charged on a bomb scare has been found not guilty in court today. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Unions are pleased with the decision made by New Zealand First and its leader Winston Peters last night. Just before 7 p.m, Peters announced New Zealand First would go into a coalition with the New Zealand Labour Party. This afternoon, Jacinda Ardern announced which MPs will have cabinet positions, with David Clark and Claire Curran amongst the names.
A new day, a new government and a new hope for workers. There is a definite spring in the step of Anne Galloway from the Air 2 union as she entered the office today. She believes workers' rights have been eroded over the past 9 years and conditions will improve under the new government.
It means change. I mean, change has been needed for a long time. We've had 9 years now of national government, and in that time workers' rights have been reduced. Things have gotten a lot harder for workers, and we're just really happy that Labour are going to be taking over now, and we hope we can get some movement on the Labour legislation.
Galloway says the change of government couldn't come soon enough, and sadly she doubts it will be in time to save jobs at Dunedin's historic Cadbury factory.
I would love to think that it could be, but I think it's gone too far down the road to be of any assistance now. We're really disappointed, and we're grieving. We're going to be grieving. I think all of Dunedin's going to be grieving because it's been a big employer. It's been a huge part of Dunedin for a long time, and we are all going to miss them. And of course, you've got to feel for the workers.
She says the lucky ones from the 300 plus workforce, which loses their jobs at the end of the year, might get minimum wage positions. Speaking in a live stream to Facebook this afternoon, incoming Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said she's going to take some time over the weekend to allocate cabinet positions and plans to have discussions with New Zealand First. Speaking with The South Today by phone, when asked about the health portfolio, Dunedin North MP David Clark simply said,
Look, that is all up to Jacinda, and I'll be delighted to be supporting the government in whatever capacity that makes meaningful change for New Zealanders.
Jacinda Ardern says the Green Party have already selected the 3 members who will be ministers outside Cabinet, but she says she will announce them, along with the rest of the appointments, next week, after Labour Day. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
The South Today canvassed people on the street in Dunedin asking what their reaction was to the new political status of the country. With the exception of one National Party supporter who did not wish to appear on camera, the result was overwhelmingly enthusiastic.
I think it can work. I think it's a good move forward. Like everyone says, it's a change, which I think is what, well, definitely Dunedin and Otago want. Well, the city of Dunedin wants. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be interesting anyway.
Yes, I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah, good to see a woman back in charge again.
She's probably the best person suited for the job, and it'll be a good change of age, get rid of all the old tired old men in their suits, and it'll hopefully put some equality into the lower classes of this country who've been forgotten for the last 15 years.
If Winston sticks up for he promises, I'll be quite happy.
I think it's a great result, yeah, especially because of the dishonesty used by Bill English with the $11.6 billion fiscal hole.
Possibility of some progress and change, yeah.
I hope they do something with the promised funding to Radio New Zealand.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great news, especially for Dunedin. I think that's what Dunedin voted for. And it's great to see the Greens in the government, but slightly outside. I think that gives a lot of power to the Greens too.
I was very excited and pleased, and New Zealand needs some change.
Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt says the change of government means he will have to work hard to make new friends in high places. At a mayoral housing task force meeting today, Bolt said he's keen to start talks with Jacinda Ardern on the hot issues affecting the resort. Mina Amso was there.
Mayor Jim Bolt is keen to let incoming Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern know what his Housing Affordability Task Force wants to see happen in the resort.
I've just written myself a note to send a copy of this report to Jacinda Ardern and Phil Twyford, who I'm assuming will be the new Minister of Housing, but I'm sure they will welcome this with open arms.
And he is confident with New Zealand First support.
From my discussions that I've had with Winston Peters, I would think he would be equally very enthusiastic about it.
In a media briefing this morning, the task force spelled out its recommendations to tackle housing unaffordability in the resort. Task Force Chairman John McDonald told media the task force is working towards making 1,000 affordable homes available by 2028.
Decided to do a two-stage goal. The main goal reads, all of our workforce will be able to own or occupy a home in our district at a cost that allows them to live within their means by 2048.
The task force wants the council to change visitor accommodation rules, change zoning rules to free up more land for housing, scale up the Queenstown Lakes Community Housing Trust, and introduce 2 new mechanisms to get low and middle income earners into their own homes. Housing Trust Executive Officer Julie Scott says one of the new models is probably a first for New Zealand.
It will be an educational process. We went through a similar process when we launched the shared ownership program 10 years ago, and it was completely new to New Zealand, that type of model.
Meanwhile, Bolt is ready to make new best friends with the incoming Prime Minister.
I'm ready to get up to Wellington and walk the carpet.
And get her attention on the Housing Task Force mandate. Mina Amso, The South Today.
The Dunedin City Council is improving the Mosgiel stormwater network following the widespread flooding in July this year. The flooding occurred when more than 120 millimetres of rain fell in Mosgiel over a 24-hour period. Group Manager of the Three Waters, Tom Dyer, says most cases of the flooding occurred because the network could not cope with the volume of water that fell. In response, the DCC has decided to replace the Carlisle Road and Reed Avenue stormwater pumping stations. A Dunedin musician who sparked a bomb scare in central Dunedin has been found not guilty of committing a criminal offence. Dean Barnes told a judge in the Dunedin District Court today his actions were about experimental music, risk-taking and artistic expression.
Dunedin musician Dean Barnes, 44, denied a charge of threatening to damage property, arguing artistic expression. He told media after the verdict today at the Dunedin District Court he was vindicated to be found not guilty.
How did you feel when you were charged? I was pretty stunned actually, like gobsmacked.
The incident on June 16 involved Barnes taping a sound cassette to a Moray Place building accompanied by a note. Police took the view the note was threatening and closed Dunedin's CBD. Barnes told the court today he frequently utilised derelict or abandoned buildings to spread a political message about the homeless and disenfranchised. His supporters offered evidence of his previous work and called the June incident an independent release strategy.
What they did is released his record on the streets of Dunedin by sticking it to a wall. It wasn't a promotional structure for a record, it was actually the record release itself. It's called Street Noise because the only place you could actually get a copy of it was via the streets.
Barnes says his art is a reflection of his dark and moody music, and the police overreacted.
Somewhat a knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
And as the case was progressing today, the comments from the judge to the prosecutor, what were you thinking to yourself?
I thought that he was possibly getting bigger grilling than I was.
Judge John McDonald dismissed the charge this afternoon, saying that in context, the words on the note did not constitute a threat. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, issues around the euthanisation and rehoming of dogs means more involvement from Invercargill City councillors, and the Otago Regional Council is on the hunt for a new chief executive.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years, bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
The University of Otago, New Zealand's only true collegiate university. For first-year students, the history, the expectations of excellence are
unfamiliar.
G'day, I'm next door.
Hi, next door. I'm Samantha Pascoe.
No, you're not. I'm Josh, Clyde, Science. And you are?
Sam, Hastings, Law and Arts.
Tane, Auckland, Commerce. Osaka, Greece, Classics. History.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Welcome back. Invercargill City councillors have decided to get more involved in the issues around the euthanisation and rehoming of dogs. At a meeting on Tuesday night, it finalised plans for an advisory panel. Sharon Rees has more.
With 5 councillors for the amendment and 5 councillors against, Mayor Tim Shadbolt's vote for an amendment will now see 4 councillors selecting the advisory panel on dogs rather than the proposed 3.
The original recommendation had myself, Pam Gear and a judicial JP, and councillors decided that they would like to see more councillors on that panel, and so that was the amendment and that was what was passed.
The public consultation process began last month after footage of a dog being killed by a captive bolt gun went viral. Amunzen says the process is a way of building trust with the community again after the public outcry.
Going through this kind of process is a way of, I guess, kind of offering an olive branch and saying, look, we really do want to work with you and we really do want to listen to what you're saying and, you know, and make good decisions based on that sort of thing. So how about we try and do that. So that's why we've come up with this suggestion of having the community panel.
She says advertising for the 6-person panel has already begun.
They'll have a series of meetings over the next few months where they ask lots of questions, get given lots of information, maybe do some field trips to the animal control facility and things like that, and just really delve into all of the issues.
Members of the public interested in sitting on the advisory panel should give written letters of interest to the City Council by November 3rd. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The Otago Regional Council is looking for new blood to take over from departing Chief Executive Peter Boudica. Boudica is near the end of his 5-year term, but ORC Chairman Stephen Woodhead says the next appointee should come from outside of the organisation.
Otago Regional Council Chairman Stephen Woodhead has advised that the Council is continuing to work through the process of selecting and appointing a Chief Executive, who will serve from the end of Peter Boudica's 5-year contract. Woodhead says at this point they've reached the conclusion that the next appointee should come from outside the organisation. He says he and the councillors thank Peter Boudica for his efforts over the last 5 years and say he's provided an excellent platform for his successor. Mr Boudica says he's extremely proud of the contribution he's made over the past 5 years. In a release, Peter Boudica says he will leave a legacy of a healthy internal staff culture, as well as strengthened relationships with the Otago community. However, Peter Boudica admits being disappointed with the decision made by councillors. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Jazz musicians from New Zealand and the world are descending on Queenstown this Labour weekend to perform at the town's 40th Jazz Festival. World-renowned Brazilian percussionist, vocalist and songwriter Nani Assis is also there with his band, performing an eclectic repertoire of New York-style songs that are romantic and upbeat. Mina Amso has more.
Every time they play
The Nani Assis band will be jazzing it up at tonight's opening of Queenstown's Jazz Festival. Kiwi-born singer Maggie Gold will perform with the full band and expects the night to be a big party.
It's pretty special.
Why is that?
Nani Assis? Because he brings an energy to the stage, and I've worked with him in New York, and he lifts everybody's game because of his experience. He's a songwriter as well, so I'm very honoured to be singing one of his songs. I just really like the fusion of, like we do a Stevie Wonder tune, for instance, and I like doing it with a samba, a Brazilian rhythm. So we're doing songs that some people will enjoy and know, and we're putting our take on them, so I'm excited about that.
The New Zealand-born vocalist from Auckland has spent the last 3 years performing in London and New York. She says the lifestyle there is fast-paced.
It's tough, it's a harder work ethic. I think the quality of musicianship is amazing.
And Brazilian-born percussionist and jazz singer Assis is excited to be in Queenstown for the first time.
It felt so good when I arrived here. Just by getting down on the plane, it's beautiful. And like she said, there's some international feeling on the streets. And actually, when I get out of the hotel, I'm in Switzerland. You know what I mean? So I feel a little bit that way. And it feels so good to be here.
The Nani and Assis bands are on stage tonight at the Memorial Town Centre Hall. Mina Amso, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, time is running out for suggestions on a new use for Dunedin's historic Sammy's building, and the Southern Institute of Technology hosts its annual Health Expo.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years, bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Thanks for staying with us. People have just a few more days to make suggestions on what should happen to Dunedin's historic Sammy's building. The theatre was built in 1896 and spent most of its early life as a theatre. During the 1980s it became a renowned music venue in Dunedin. The City Council purchased the building earlier this year to save it from potential demolition. Community and Culture Committee Chair Aaron Hawkins says people's submissions do not need to be a full essay and a few bullet points or paragraphs will suffice. The last day for submissions is Labour Day, Monday at 5 p.m. The Southern Institute of Technology hosted its annual Health Expo yesterday. First-year Bachelor of Nursing students set out to bust the myths surrounding mental and physical health. Sharon Rees has more.
Addressing mental and physical health is no laughing matter, unless of course you're participating in laughing yoga. Using the method of prolonged laughter to benefit cardiovascular health and moods was just one of the practices promoted at SIT's Health Expo.
First year students have been working with health promotion, so we're trying to get health promotion messages out there about improving health. So we made the theme about Health Busters, because we know that there's a lot of misinformation out there about health these days.
With items like these beer goggles, students are busting the myths surrounding mental and physical health in a fun and engaging way.
We don't want health to be this dry topic where you go to your GP and have that one-way conversation. It's all about engaging people, so there's lots of quizzes and games and fun activities that you can participate in inside.
Addressing everything from heart issues, blood glucose testing and breast cancer awareness to some of the less talked about bodily functions, the expo was a useful experience for both students and the public.
It's been a really big learning curve for our students, but it's been really awesome to be able to see a lot of the public kind of have their ideas changed a bit and see some encouragement for them to change their behaviours for certain things, which has been really positive.
By lifting the lid on these health myths, organisers said the students were contributing to a more aware and well-informed community. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Unions are pleased with the decision made by New Zealand First and its leader Winston Peters last night. Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolts says the change of government means he will have to work hard to make new friends in high places. And Dunedin musician Dean Barnes was found not guilty on bomb threat charges at the Dunedin District Court today. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us tonight?
Good evening. Yeah, not needless to say, more politics for us tomorrow as well. Confirmation today that Dunedin's going to have 2 cabinet ministers, with Claire Curran and David Clark both being given portfolios. Jacinda Ardern's not announcing until next week which portfolios they'll get, but of course Claire's likely to pick up, I think, communications, while David's probably looking at health. Going to be an interesting time for David, because he's been quite outspoken as an opposition health minister, and now he's going to be holding the purse strings, so it'll be interesting to see how things go down that track.
Very interesting, very.
There's also some Dunedin links as well, with Grant Robinson and David Parker, of course, spent a bit of time down this way. They've both been, will be given portfolios as well, so a lot of representation in the south, so that's good to see.
Yeah.
We've also got a really interesting piece from our court reporter Rob Kidd. Of course, this week we had the court appearance of Stephen Finlay, who was convicted for the murder of Sharon Comfort in Seacliff about 18 months ago. Rob spent a day up at Seacliff sort of talking to the locals, quite a tight-knit community up there, just about how they've got on subsequent to that really nasty incident. And interesting enough, they've kind of almost got a lot closer together. They've been having barbecues, going on walks through the Truby King Reserve as well, and it's been quite an interesting time for them up there. They're all trying to look out for each other now, which is kind of nice.
So something positive's come out of a tragedy like that,
yeah,
which is lovely
like
to see.
Yeah, it is. It's well worth a read. And of course, Weekend Mix on Saturday as well. We're having a look at leadership in the workplace. And there's quite a harrowing piece on the Huntington disease, of course, the hereditary brain disorder, so that's well worth a read as well.
Yeah, well, definitely some good reading in tomorrow's ODT, and now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Collagen Plus.
A cold front will arrive over southern districts tonight and bring a period of rain with colder southwesterlies. Showers will clear tomorrow, but unfortunately more showers are on the way on Sunday and Monday as further cold fronts race across the South Tasman Sea. To the southern outlook, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden can expect fresh southwesterlies, showers clearing and 13 degrees for all of you. Further west to central Alexandra, Queenstown and Wanaka can all expect moderate southwesterlies, brief rain and 14 degrees. Pretty similar also in Tiana and 13 degrees. Travelling up north, Oamaru and Timaru are both moderate north southwesterlies. There's a risk of showers and 15. Omarama and Twizel have moderate southwesterlies, brief rain and 14 for you too. And here in Dunedin tonight, colder southerly winds develop tonight with some showers by dawn and a low of 9. Early showers clearing and sunny periods increasing during the day. Tomorrow with fresh cool southwesterlies easing, 14 and 7. Fine with sunny periods and some cloud on Sunday, cool southwesterly winds 12 and 7. So it's a bit of a cooler long weekend for Dunedin. And in Invercargill tonight, colder southwesterlies and showers developing tonight with an overnight low of 9. Cloudy tomorrow with showers and fresh cool southwesterlies 13 and 6. And sunny periods at first on Sunday, but cloud increasing and rain developing later with westerly winds tending colder southwesterly by the evening 12 and 5. And some showers for much of the region on Monday too, so probably a good day to plan on staying indoors and catching up with TV. And that's our news for this Friday. You can catch us up on Facebook and channel39.co.nz. And have a lovely weekend. Enjoy Labour Day. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.